In the Philippines, everything is substandard, and you'll be surprised to find something with actual quality. If you do find something with quality, it's usually imported and charged about twice the price that it usually is. This should not surprise you if you live in the Philippines. Everything from food, transportation, construction material, accommodation, absolutely everything is substandard. On Reddit, KK Coot says, another Philippine scam, substandard building materials. Nowadays in the Philippines, it seems everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, someone is scamming someone. Today, the Department of Trade and Industry officials led the ceremonial destruction of 4.6 million peso worth of non-compliant steel products and ceramic plumbing wares at a warehouse in Marikina City on Wednesday. The activity underscores the agency's continual campaign to enforce product standards and protect consumers from substandard and unsafe goods. Yes, this is just a simple example. Just think of how many construction projects are on the way right now that have substandard material. All these Chinese that keep coming to the Philippines, buying fake passports and fake Philippines citizenship, are having their hands in situations like this. They import millions of dollars worth of material and resell it to low standard Filipinos because their lives are low standard, their mentality is low standard, and all they want is to save money. At the end of the day, Filipinos don't care what happens when the building collapses, when the bridge collapses, or when the school falls to pieces. They absolutely do not care. Chris says, well, it's good that there are at least some enforcement, but I think my local hardware store still offers 10mm substandard rebar, which is about 15% thinner alongside the standard by a reliable manufacturer. They do point it out to you when you buy, and the substandard variety is cheaper. It's only a scam when the contractor pretends that he bought standard rebar. Yes, that is true, but you can apply the same logic on a much larger scale when other agencies and corporations are involved, when they buy in the billions of pesos worth of material because they save a lot of money, and that's when the trouble comes. G Space says, the substandard are okay if you are using them for your garage or fence. You should not use them for your house, or you will have the Bangkok skyscraper collapse all over again. It was not properly tempered rebar used for the building. Yes, it happened in Bangkok, and I'm sure it'll happen again in the future if there's any type of small earthquake. OK Grocery says, the whole country is substandard. I'm much more surprised when I find quality. That is a great point. This happened to me personally when somehow I come across something that is not substandard. Even average is above standard in the Philippines. It will surprise you to get good customer service. It'll surprise you to get something of quality for the price that you pay. Everything usually is the other way around. But I agree, it's surprising to find quality rather than the other way around. 123 Automation says, how about the breadcrumb hollow blocks used in large percent of Philippines construction? Contractors and manufacturers of these blocks, I guess, cut corners to save and or pocket money and reformulate concrete mixture to make these blocks. Rebar is one thing, however, hollow blocks that can be broken just by squeezing it with your hands is another. Well said. I'm not certain where they get this material, but if I had to guess, it'll be China, just like everything else. That is why a lot of illegal activity happened at the ports of the Philippines. Many people ship things without proper documentation or actually description of the product itself. It's a known scam around the Philippines. Ceremonial destruction? That metal could properly have been used for something else. Probably just bad wording. No, it's not bad wording. It is what it is, because in the Philippines, they want to make us skeptical out of a situation. They want to parade around these pieces of metal for people to see that their department is doing their job so they can increase their budget for next year. That is what they do, because if they do not, they will not keep their jobs. It's that simple. Melon Pan says, and they'll come from China. And Mayor Duterte gonna go on podcast say we rely on China products. The truth is, Duterte may not have been everyone's favorite, but he had some things right. Not everything, of course, and that is why he's still very popular in the Philippines. That is why they want to bring him back from the International Court of Justice, because many people still believe in his ways. Perhaps not everyone, but at least he kept people on their toes. I don't agree with everything he does or did. That's not the point. The point is the Philippines needs a strong leader, not a weak one, not someone whose parents scammed them from trillions of pesos 30 years ago and they re-chose and made his son the president again, which is unbelievable to me. But if we know Filipinos, we know how they operate. The bottom line is the Philippines, the place we absolutely have to watch your back. This is one small example, but corruptions and scams run rampant in all industries and factors of life. Small things like getting inside of a taxi can be stressful in the Philippines. You may say, okay, use Grab or other ride-sharing applications, but have you tried to call Grab when it rains? And tell me, how often does it rain in the Philippines? How often do Grab drivers cancel your ride and hope that you increase the payment via a phone call? Why are they calling me every time I order a Grab? The location is pinned on the map. Then I realized they simply cannot read a map. They cannot read English, so they have to confirm via a phone call to make sure you are the place that they can come and get you from. Why do they cancel so often? There's scams everywhere. That was just one example. Building a home is stressful as well. Not only that, just buying any product from online shopping is taking a risk. Half the time, the item arrives the wrong size, wrong quality, or simply something you did not order. And good luck trying to get a refund on any online shopping platform. Have you been to the stores? Why are there 20 staff standing around but one cashier open? Substandard mentality. They don't understand how things operate. Nothing works as it should in the Philippines. Why are you paying more for your water and electricity than everyone else in your condominium? I'll tell you why. Because the whole place is a scam. Why are you paying fee to enter a pool that you paid monthly maintenance fees for, or let's say management fees? Everything is a complete scam in the Philippines. Why do you pay 1 month advance, but they still want you to pay an extra month when you're about to leave at the end of your lease contract? Things like this happen all the time. Why does a Filipino tell you it costs 1,500 pesos to get to your place when it's only 80 pesos because you know exactly the Grab ride from her location? Everything is a scam. Why do they ask you how long you've been here, sir? Not because they care, because they want to know if you know anything about the Pinoy land and how easily they can scam you. Everything is substandard. Life here, it can be good if you know how to navigate, or for the regular person, it's a complete headache. And you should come to this country to improve your livelihood, not to do the opposite. Many people settle for the first woman that glances at them, first woman that looks at you and says hello at a bar. Why are you meeting women at a bar? I know why. Because they're easy. Because you don't think you could get anything better. Because back in your home country, you are a nobody. You're still a nobody here, but don't forget, your US dollars are desired here. So don't give it out easily. Just as good women don't give themselves out easily to men, you should not give out your money to other people easily, whether it's for substandard material or a woman somewhere. Do not allow them to take advantage of you. If you gain someone's trust, if you believe in them, in the future, you can treat them whichever way you want. But don't forget to not settle when you come here in the Philippines. It's not for your benefit at all. Filipinas and Filipinos will take advantage of you and will not think about anything else. So you should do the same. Always watch your back. The best comment from yesterday is from Jin Kazama. They complain the government is corrupt. They themselves is corrupt. They don't care about facts, truth, and equality. They just care about what makes them feel good. They are emotional, not logical. Why do you think they build so many malls instead of more roads? I'll tell you why. Malls make money. Malls are privatized. Roads aren't. People don't make money off of roads. Maybe a handful of corrupt officials. That is why. But you are absolutely correct. Why do they care about the wrong things? The worst comment is from Louis. Every country has good and bad people. Why are you singling out our country to the point of dedicating this channel just to putting our citizens in bad light? We are already dealing with cottage industry corruption, yearly typhoons, and this time with earthquakes also. For God's sakes, have a life and just show example how to live a good life. Be an example instead of just criticizing to get content. What a full of crap. Well, Louis, this is not the only channel I've dedicated to this. There's also the Philippines Truth. Thanks for watching. God bless.